Hi, thanks for joining. My name is Jacqui Mancuso. This is a replay from a live session that I just recorded on Insight Timer. So you'll see me interacting with the group chat. That's available on Insight Timer if you want to follow me on that platform to see when my next live sessions are, so you can hop in the chat. But by all means, please comment your findings, and I would love to get back to you to see what you think about this session, Learning How to Trust Your Gut. Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How is everybody doing? Who is all here? Feel free to hop in the chat and say hello. Maybe let us know where you're joining from. Maybe let us know if it's your first time with me. This is a new time for Jacqui Mancuso. I have been progressively going live later and later in the day. 8:15 a.m. Central used to be my time spot, and then I shifted back to 9 a.m. and now my body's like, yeah, it's still too early. Go live at 10. So maybe I have some more West Coasters today. I see Diana says hello. Madeline says hello from Houston. First time here. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Nice to meet you. My name is Jacqui Mancuso. I am in a huge transition, so I don't define myself in my work anymore. I'm just here to talk. Today we're talking about the gut. If you enjoy what you hear, you can stick around. If not, very nice to meet you. Take care. Hello, Lori. Nice to see you. Diana is on vacation in Greece. That sounds lovely. For those of you who know me, you might have joined me last week when I talked about my first ever international trip to Peru. This is one of my souvenirs from Peru. That was lovely. We did a whole ayahuasca retreat, and that replay is on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested in hearing all about that trip, you can search my name on YouTube. This replay will also be on my YouTube channel. Good morning, Adriana. Very nice to see you. So what I wanted to ask you guys as we start this session about trusting your gut, some of you may have used your gut to show up, right? Some of you might have read the description, and without thinking about it, you were like, yep, I need to be there. This is for me. And some of you might have had a gut reaction, and then you thought about it. And after you sat with it, you thought, okay, yes, I want to be there. So I'm just curious, what was it that intrigued you about this session? Let me know in the chat. What was it in the description, in the topic? Like, why are you here? What was it that drew you into this session, if that makes sense? Because this was something that my gut told me to do. It was very spur of the moment. I was having a shower thought. I turned it into a video that I haven't posted yet that I'll tell you guys all about, and then I was like, I should talk about this on Insight Timer. Diana saw it on Facebook, and it feels good, intuitive, awesome. I love that. Adriana says, the energy you provide has me here for all the lives I'm able to join. Awesome. Awesome, Adriana. It's following your gut, what you relate to, right? So this started because Lori says, I'm trying to be in touch more and listen to my gut. Cool. The fact that you're trying means that you're gonna get there. So this whole gut thing started with a shower thought. I am currently back in the conversation with my husband about buying me out of our old house. I left 9 months ago, and we're still trying to decide on a number that's fair for both of us. So anyway, he and I are in talks again, and with his very emotional state right now, I'm the one who left the marriage, so in his emotional state, he is being more abrupt with his emotional responses than I remember. Either that, or like I have gotten away from his abrupt emotional responses, so they're triggering me more, or I'm noticing them more, or whatnot. But as he and I are texting, I'm noticing that, like, I'll say something, and I know I'm here to trigger people. I'm not trying to do it on purpose, but like I know that I'm just firm in who I am, what I believe, what I want, what I deserve. And so I'll say it, not in a mean way, and then his emotional response, right, like he doesn't take any time to think about anything. He just responds with his gut. So I was thinking about this. That's his gut reaction. Okay, is it good? Is it bad? What can I do with it? Should he change? And all these thoughts were going through my mind. And I started thinking about the human design. Because in the human design, he's a generator. If you don't know anything about the human design, 70%, more than 70% of the population has a really, really strong gut. You guys have a sacral center, it is a power center, it is a constant battery, and it's a gut response that your body triggers you to know, like, this is for me, my body has told me. So he has that gut response. So I'm trying to look at the world through his perspective. And if that's his gut response, if he is meant to just react that way, who am I to say that he should be acting differently? So that's where this started. And then I started going down the rabbit hole that I've been taking you guys on for a very long time, that I don't believe in good or bad. Everything just is. And until we label something as good or bad, it isn't. It's an event. So these gut emotional responses, are they good? Are they bad? They just are. They're not for me, therefore I left, because that is my responsibility to respond. And so it wasn't for me, doesn't mean it's bad, but it's his gut. It's his gut reaction. So what has his gut reaction, constant gut reactions over, almost a decade, how has that served him? How has that served me? He's following his gut, and that didn't lead him to where he wanted to be, where I wanted to be, right? Happily married for the rest of our lives with this dream life. It didn't lead us to where we mentally wanted to be, but this constant following of his gut led us to exactly where we need to be. We've both grown, we've both learned, we've both experienced, we've both gone through things because he's trusting his gut and he's not trying to mentally think like, oh, how should I respond politely to this, So I'm not saying that like his emotional responses are the right way to do things, but this really got me thinking about our gut responses. How many times, and I see some chats coming through and I wanna read them. How many times has your gut told you what to do, and then your mind has come in even a millisecond later, and your mind has all these rationale examples about why you shouldn't do that, why you could never achieve something like that. Your mind starts to think about all the ways that, it might impact this positively, but this is going to have a negative impact, and this person might be hurt, and this situation might change. Put it in the chat if you've had that experience where your gut tells you, yes, this is for me, and then the mind comes in and explains away why it shouldn't be. I want to read, Madeline wrote, I asked, if you guys just came in, I asked what drew you to this session? What was it about the explanation, the description that drew you in? Madeline said, I feel I have had a lot of gut feelings within relationships and I always overthink it and then look back and say I should have listened to myself and feel I'm going through it again. And then I just randomly got on here for the first time in years and clicked on this. Oh, awesome, Madeline. Awesome. Welcome. I'm very happy that you're here. Jennifer, hello in Peoria. Welcome. You're a little bit south from me. A little bit south. I'm in I don't even know what suburbs. I'm in DuPage County. It's up there by the city. Michelle, good morning. Nice to see you too. Jennifer says, yes, and then I excuse all the ways my gut is wrong. You see how much power the mind has? You see how much control the mind tries to take over our whole experience? Hello, Alessa. I hope I'm saying that right. Just joining. I went to another of your sessions forever ago. Totally forgot the topic, but I remember it was really good. Awesome. Nice to have you back. So what I was kind of talking about, and I made a quick social media post about this, about how following your gut isn't good or bad. Your body just wants you to do what your body's saying to do. And I was sensing that a lot of people don't trust their gut because they think it's going to be a bad outcome. They think that like their gut is telling them to do something bad, or their gut is telling them to do something wrong. Have any of you guys experienced that? Alyssa, beautiful, perfect pronouncing. You know, you guys could see with my wacky spelled name, I've had a lot of people mispronounce my name in very humorous ways sometimes. Madeline, yes. Diana, yes. You guys have absolutely experienced where your gut tells you to do something and you're like, oh no, that would make me a bad person. That would be a bad choice. Here's a little insider knowledge. When it comes to these sort of topics, I'm just being transparent right now so you guys can get into the brain of Jacqui. I was having this like inspirational wave a few days ago, and I wanted to do it on Insight Timer. We have to schedule 48 hours in advance, so I'm like trying to get back to that state of mind where I was, because I was so on fire. So what was it? What is something that you think is bad? What was something that your gut told you to do, and then you thought about it and you were like, that would make me a bad person? What is an example? And excuse me, I'm gonna blow my nose. Because before I read that comment that came through, let's take it back to my husband. His gut tells him to say really nasty things when Jacqui speaks her piece. And if he were to sit there and think like, well, maybe that would make me a bad person, and then if he were to not do his gut reaction, there would be a lot of emotional buildup. Like there would be a lot of unexpressed emotions in him. And while I'm not saying that it's the right thing to do to emotionally outburst at a person, he's following his gut, and his gut has led him down the path of destiny that he was meant to be on, right? Madeline says that's what prevents from action. Diana, okay, responsibilities. Your gut tells you not to do your responsibilities, and then your mind says, well, that would make you a bad person, right? I'm going to talk about that for a minute, and then Jennifer, I'll talk about yours. Responsibilities. And I will be totally honest here, like I don't have kids, and I could see that like children and responsibilities can go hand in hand, and I'm just going to speak about responsibilities only for yourself, your own internal responsibilities. So things like what? Like showing up to work on time, like getting your chores done in time. What is time? What kind of time is that? What are we talking about? Responsibilities like mowing the lawn. So I'm living with Matt, and before I got here, he was like, I hate mowing the lawn. The city has come to his house multiple times to like yell at him for mowing the lawn. So there's a responsibility, right? Because someone else thinks that my yard should look a certain way. So yeah, my gut tells me that I just want to sit on the couch and read a book today. But my mind tells me that, the village might come again before I mow the lawn and blah, 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 blah. And like, who cares? Who cares? Jennifer, your gut is telling you to leave your relationship. And let me guess, your mind is going through all of those possibilities of, well, how am I going to do this? What is this part of my life going to look like? You might even be going through some thoughts about what is the other person going to do? What is their life going to look like? Where am I going to leave them? Ooh, and I'm having another thought, because right before this gut thing, I had a really deep thought about empaths and taking responsibility for other people's lives, and that is the most unhealthy thing that I believe we could do. So your gut is telling you to leave your relationship, and your mind is thinking through all of the possibilities of what could happen. So I just went through this thought of how much of your gut are you meant to listen to in the moment, and how much of your gut response needs to be prepared. Like your nervous system needs to be prepared for you to follow your gut response. I understand that I'm delusional. Like I know that. I know that I am not normal. And my gut right now is saying, like, if you're having the feeling, it's time to go. But I know what it's like to have that feeling. I had that sense about leaving my relationship for probably 2-3 years before I actually took the steps to do it. And so this is, I guess, another way to get to know your gut. Because your gut can give you an idea, but it's not fully formed. Does that make sense? And it did get to a point where I had an experience, and there was like an hour that everything changed when I knew it was actually time to leave. So my gut was telling me that it's time to go, but my gut was also telling me that it's not time to go, and maybe that was my nervous system coming online, letting me know that, like, I would have gone into a lot of fear if I didn't prepare myself a little bit more. Does that make sense? Madeline says, those are the bad things. I don't remember what you were talking about, but your other comment, Madeline, says risk of financial instability, setting up a bad career path, getting behind on my highest potential, allowing anxiety to destroy a good relationship, missing out on picking the right path or opportunities. Thank you for naming all of those things, because this is going to bring me into a little talk about trust. For a long time, a couple years, as long as I've been teaching here, I've been working through, how do I teach people to trust? How can I instill more trust in my students? And I have to do that by thinking about how I have built trust. Trust that the universe is always going to catch me. Trust that no matter what choices I make, I am always going to be held and protected and taken care of. And what I am continuously coming up to when I think about how to teach trust is, you have to take some risks. Because when you take a risk, you put yourself in a very vulnerable position. You put yourself in this super scary, I don't know what's going to happen position. And then through time, I don't know how long it's going to take, but through some time, you will find that you are always handed exactly what you need. You don't always get what you want, and I'm still learning that, and I'm still accepting that, but you do always get exactly everything that you need. The mind has these small, limited ideas about what the mind thinks is your greatest life. Does that make sense? The mind can imagine a future that your mind thinks is like the best it's ever going to get. But how crazy is it that the mind is this big compared to what can actually be? Because the mind is going to show you a picture of the future that is based on things that you've already seen, information that you've already taken in, examples that you've already seen all around you. And while that is a great goalpost, that's a great shooting point, you're going to be so much bigger and more expansive than that, because all of us are here as creators. All of us are here to create a future and a reality that is so much bigger, so much newer, so much more innovative than anything we've ever seen before. So all of these things that you named, Madeline, financial instability, a bad career path, getting behind on my highest potential, these are the fears that the mind is forecasting. And it could be super subconscious, but what's happening is the mind is saying, if I don't achieve this, right, whether it's a salary that you have in mind or whatever, it's like a lifestyle that you have in mind, the mind says, if I'm not here, that means I've failed. But what the mind has a really hard time seeing is, if I don't achieve this, I'm going to achieve this. And it's like so much different. And while some of those details might be lower than what you expected, there's so much more available on the other side. I feel like I just blabbed for a minute, and I hope that makes sense. Let's see what Alessa said a few minutes ago. What? Oh, husband. Yeah, husband. Never heard that before. Also, who can mispronounce your name? Just looks like Jacqui. Yeah. And Alessa doesn't call it divorce. I call it getting unmarried. I like that. Mandy, so we're asking earlier, what is it that your gut tells you to do that you think is bad? And Mandy said canceling plans, leaving a relationship, napping on the clock when you're really sleepy. All right, so here is where I'm going to start talking about the body, because the body never lies. The body never lies. Was I already? I was already reading Mary Magdalene. So about maybe this time last year, I have a very good friend who is a very trusted intuitive, and he was giving me a reading, and something came through, and he was talking about all this Venus energy, and he's talking about all this Mary Magdalene stuff. So here's another example of me trusting my gut. So I don't know what the hell he saw in my chart. I don't know what the hell he picked up on, but he threw out the word Venus, and I just associate with Venus because of my chart. She's strong. And then he threw out Mary Magdalene. And my gut said, there's something in there with Mary Magdalene. I'm not religious. I grew up in the church, but like we were never told about Mary Magdalene. I didn't really know anything about Mary Magdalene, but this trusted friend brought her up. So I immediately went on Amazon because he said that she has these like hidden gospels. So I went on Amazon to find her hidden gospels. Couldn't find that, or like that book was like uber expensive. So I found her, Megan Watterson wrote a book about Mary Magdalene, and my gut said, put it on your Amazon wish list. And this was at the very early conception of my Amazon wish list. I was building my wish list. So I put that book on there, and then I also found she had a corresponding oracle deck. And at that time, I was known for oracle readings on Insight Timer. I was astrology and oracle. That's who Jacqui Mancuso was. This was the first item that was sent to me from my Amazon wish list. And I can't remember who sent this to me, but my gut told me, follow Mary Magdalene. She has something for you, blah, blah, blah. So the book came, this deck came. I read the Mary Magdalene book. I can't remember the title of it, but it's by Megan Watterson, the same woman. And she uses some of the Mary Magdalene Gospels to reflect on her life story. So like she tells the story of Mary, and then she also gives personal life examples. And it was very empowering. It woke up a different part of my divine feminine that I hadn't been aware of, or I hadn't been using prior to that. So the body never lies. That is one of the cards in this Mary Magdalene deck. The body never lies. Hello, Sandy. The gut is your body speaking to you. The body has so much intuitive wisdom, and I believe that our society has taught us to rely on the mind, because how do you control people is through the mind, right? Why do you think the divine feminine has been so suppressed? Because the divine feminine is in tune with her body, and she follows the flow of her body, and that is terrifying for people who want to control everything that's happening. I'm not saying anything conspiracy, it's just the nature of life, right? It doesn't have to be this like group of people that want to control us. It's a coping mechanism to want to control. When you're scared, you want to control things. So of course, the mind would have been so glorified in the society because the intuitive nature of the body can be so chaotic in a good way, in a great way. What made me want to talk about this? Canceling plans and napping on the couch when you're sleepy. See, or napping on the, couch or clock, whatever you meant to say. I'm always going to come back to what I was talking about. So your body, the body never lies. The body never lies. If you're tired, your body is saying, take a freaking nap. Because you have to take a nap. Maybe you're not meant, and I don't know if you meant to say sleeping on the clock, but I'm going to take that. Because, oh my gosh, maybe you're not meant to be working 9 to 5. Maybe you're not meant to be devoting 5 out of your 7 living days to making someone else successful. Maybe you're not built to do that. Sure, there are people who are built to do that, and that's fine. That doesn't mean that you have to force yourself into that box. What is your gut telling you to do? Is your gut telling you that, man, when I go to work and I come home and I have absolutely nothing left to give to the life that I've created for myself? I'm giving all of my energy to the life that someone else has created, and I have nothing left when I get home to give to my own life. Maybe there's something off here. Maybe I could do something else, right? Of course your gut is going to tell you that. Let's see what else you guys have been talking about. Madeline, I read that. Jennifer, I did leave 2 months ago. It was hard, but my gut told me I had to. I finally listened. That's amazing, Jennifer. It takes courage, it takes bravery to take the leap, but once you take the leap, that is when the trust is built. And every time you take a little leap, and every time you put yourself into a little bit more of a scarier place, you build more trust. And then eventually, you might start receiving some external feedback that will validate your trust, right? You might do things like leave a relationship, and then you have people around you saying, I can't believe you did that. How did you know? How did you have that courage to do that? And that's just a good way to reevaluate, like, I have built a lot of trust. There are still people out there who are afraid of doing this. I knew that I would be okay. That must mean that I've built some trust. Does that make sense? Madeline, you're named after Mary Magdalene. I love it. Let's see, P. P says, wouldn't it be the reverse? The gut wants to do the right thing and the mind talk you out of it. Wouldn't it be the reverse? The gut wants to do the right thing and your mind talks you out of it. Yes, I believe that that's kind of what we were talking about. Maybe I just phrased it differently, because the mind is the smaller part of you that is trying to control, that is trying to run the show. Alessa says, tapping into my body wisdom has been so key. Even something as simple as someone asked for my number the other day, my body seized up immediately. No part of me wanted to give the number, and that's awesome. That's awesome. That's like a big reaction. And the body might not always do something that big. The gut might not always do something that big, but good on you for listening to it, because when you start to listen to those obvious signs, you're going to get really comfortable with it, and then you'll start to pick up on the less obvious signs. Jennifer, yes, it was baby steps to get there. It was baby steps to get there. And I think that that's kind of what I was talking about when I was talking about how, like, it took me a few years to actually trust my gut. And I don't know if it would have been, I don't know what would have happened if I would have left earlier. And that's also kind of where divine timing comes in. Everything just was kind of lined up for me. Instead of jumping the gun and then flailing around and trying to figure it out on my own, when I left, I had a place to go. I had multiple places to go. I had a support system set up. I had, a lot of things that were ready because it was time. It was time. Alessa is asking Jennifer, now that it's been a few weeks, few months, how do you feel? Has anything changed? So what else can we talk about? Trusting your gut, following your gut. Do you guys have any questions about the gut? Has there been anything that, other than leaving a relationship, which I feel like we've talked about, is there anything that your gut is asking you to do that we can talk about? And I'm trying to get back to that place, the gut with nothing being good or bad. The fear. Everything is a gift. Everything is a gift. Let me try to get down to this. Everything is a gift. No matter how scary life gets, no matter how difficult life gets, no matter how dark life gets, it is all a gift. Everything is happening for you. And I feel like I can explain and talk about this all I want, but you really need to experience it for yourself. This is something that you really need to get to on your own in order to deeply understand it. And I'm gonna share a little bit from my recent ayahuasca experience that is talking about this. So the last time, one of the last times I did ayahuasca, I got to a place where I met a part of my multi-dimensional self. And before this ceremony, I asked, show me what I need to break through. Like, please, tonight, because it had been so easy, so peaceful, so loving. It was great, you know, and then one day I was like, just give me something to break through. I'm ready. So I was shown a part of my multi-dimensional self. And it scared the shit out of me. It was wonderful to meet a different part of myself, but it was terrifying because my ego was having a really hard time accepting that that was me, because it was so foreign, it was so unlike what I have known Jacqui to be, and I got really scared, and I felt so lonely. I felt so lonely. I was in a room of like 15 people. There was a shaman playing beautiful music for us. I could have, you know, I'm in this like trance state of mind. I could have turned to anyone, right? I could have walked up to the shaman and asked for help, but I just knew I needed to experience this deep loneliness, And I don't remember specifics of how I felt it, but it was just the lowest, the loneliest I had ever felt. I was scared, I was lonely. And then I made it through, because we always make it through that kind of stuff. You just sit with it, you experience it, it's there to show you something, and then you always make it through. So I made it through. And then the rest of that ceremony, I had such deep gratitude for, in that day, it was specific men that were coming up in my life. Men in my life who had gone through those years of deep loneliness, because it was a service for then me, because these men in my life have gone through such deep loneliness that prompted them to find their own remedies, their own ways to heal the loneliness, that then have shaped their personalities, and their personalities are what have been guiding me through my life experience at different points in time. You know, it's been friends, it was my dad, it's been acquaintances, it's just been men who have felt this deep loneliness. I'm getting to the point where everything's a gift. And that is what it was. When I was in that moment of deep fear and loneliness, I didn't know it at the time, but it was a gift, because it then was able to show me, like, that, Jacqui, those 10 minutes that you spent feeling that way, like, all of these people in your life have felt that way for years and years. So be grateful for their service, because it was that low point that has made them the compassionate people that they are. Does that make sense? Please tell me that makes sense. Because that's what I'm trying to help you not be so afraid of when it comes to things like financial instability or getting on a bad career path. What is a bad career path? If you determine that it's bad, then it will be bad. Or if you just accept that this is what's happening right now, this is what's flowing right now, it doesn't have to be permanent. It doesn't have to be like this forever. It's okay to feel those deep, dark emotions, because they are trying to show you something. They're serving you in a way so that you create a remedy for them, right? That's why hardship exists. It's not so that you complain and hope that somebody comes and fixes it for you. It's so you can find the creative nature in yourself to solve the problem that you are experiencing, because you are that powerful, because you are that creative. April, thank you so kindly for your donation. If you guys have been enjoying this session so far, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange, they're always appreciated. You could donate right here on Insight Timer, or if you would rather donate on PayPal or Venmo, I do have a link in my bio where you can do that. Alessa says, Jacqui, I feel like you explained that so well. other people's fears, don't leave your job, yeah, can get put in our minds. So our mind, via anxiety, tries to control what happens versus the gut that really is in flow. It took me years, but thank you. That's the point. You're here to learn. It's supposed to take you a long time. You're supposed to go through 100 million lessons before you get it. Learning the hard way, it's in there. It's solidified. No one can take that from you. No one can take that lesson that you learned from you. And this is, thank you for naming other people's fears get put into you. Other people's fears. I've said that so many times here on Insight Timer when I share these like radical things that I'm going to do. No, I'm going to leave my marriage, or oh, I'm going to go travel by myself. You know, I say these radical things, and out of love, my students, my followers will give me their worry. We'll make sure you do this. We'll be careful with this. And I started saying, I'm not accepting your fear at this time. Like, thank you for your concern, but I'm not accepting worry at this time, because it's other people's fear, because they wouldn't be able to see themselves in the action that you are planning to take. That doesn't mean that you cannot see yourself in the action that you are planning to take. And for this reason also, just the other day I made myself some rules for social media, for limiting my social media. That's been difficult because that's where I like work now. I'm a content creator, you know, I make all these videos and stuff, and so I've been experimenting and seeing what other people do, but then I'm just regurgitating other people's stuff. So that's where solitude is really helpful for everybody, to get to know yourself, your body, your gut. Jennifer, responding about leaving her relationship, says, I can see where I left myself behind and realizing we are both great people. We wanted a different future. I feel sadness and relief at the same time. Honor those. Honor every single feeling. P says, looking for a new apartment. Saw something good, but doesn't have the thing I want. I don't know if it's my gut or fear of not finding something else. Sometimes so difficult to distinguish between gut and fear. I agree, P. And I was having this thought before this session as well. And I'm going to bring this back real quick to the human design. Because in the human design, yes, 70-ish% of people have a defined sacral center, so you do have that gut response. However, half of the population has what's called an emotional authority. And I am one of those people. So the emotional authority means that even if you do have that gut response, your design, your life works most in flow when you follow your emotional wave, when you listen to your full emotional wave. So if you know your human design, great. If not, you can still take the advice, play with it, chew on it for who knows how long, see if it works. If it does, great. If not, throw it out. But the emotional authority, it is still listening to your gut, but it's listening to your gut and not always responding to your gut. So with the apartment situation, if your gut says this isn't the right one because it doesn't have what I want, that to me is your emotions speaking, right? That could be your fear speaking. And you want to listen to your fear. You want to honor your fear. And you'll come to a point where you will have felt every emotion that the right apartment will show up. So instead of naming the emotions in like a negative way, like, ooh, that's my fear. I don't want to listen to my fear. I don't want to follow my fear. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You do want to hear what your fear is saying. You don't want to be blindly led by your fear, but it's lovely to say, if I don't get this one thing in my apartment, that's probably my sense of fear coming up, thinking that I won't have enough and I won't be able to do this, and just identify it, just look at it. And the more you're able to identify what emotions you're feeling, the more you're able to get down into what are these emotions trying to show me, and then the more clarity will come as you look at other apartments. Does that make sense? If it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. Alessa says, Jennifer, a lot say the relief really comes. I believe it's always such a challenge not to abandon yourself in a relationship. just because the other person becomes so influential because they're in your environment. I totally feel that. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to speak about that for a second, and then I'll answer your question, Wendy. And then I think we're going to pull maybe just one card for guidance, and then I think I might get out of here under the hour. Following your gut. Following your gut. Yes. Okay, this is what I was talking about in that video about my gut. When I met my husband, we purchased a home together within the first year of knowing each other. I followed my gut. That's what my gut told me to do. There were so many people around me that were saying like, oh, you barely know this guy. It's a really big investment. Are you sure you want to do that? And 8 years later, now I'm dealing with it, which is fine. But I really value everything that I personally gained from homeownership with a person I barely knew, right? So I followed my gut. Nothing is good or bad, right? Some people would say that the situation I'm in, where I'm arguing about how much he's going to buy me out of the house for, some might say that that's a bad thing because they can't see themselves in my position handling the stress that I am choosing to handle because it's my baggage. You know, it's what I have to deal with. I get it. It's fine. Other people's opinions don't really matter. So about this, losing yourself, abandoning yourself in a relationship, that's been my superpower. That has been my superpower. Human design, once again, if you're aware, it's the G center, the self center. Mine is undefined. That means that I do not have a defined sense of self. This is why right now for me, solitude is so enticing because I want to get to know who I am without the influence of anyone else. Having an undefined G center, an undefined self center, people like me are meant to try on other people's personalities and see how it feels. I am made to blend into this other person's world and then take what resonates and leave the rest. So it's the choice of words. Some can say that I am abandoning myself by doing what this other person is doing. You know, I completely morphed into my husband. I am not gonna deny that. But he showed me things that I like that I wouldn't have tried before. Did I completely abandon myself? Maybe I didn't know who I was, and I had to try some things on. And now I'm learning what I want to keep and what I want to discard. So is it a bad thing to abandon yourself? Or is it a positive thing to try on new skills, to try on new traits, to try on new personality aspects? Does that make sense? Again, I don't think that anything is good or bad. It's all just happening. It's all just happening. And it's all a learning experience. Why did I allow myself to go so far over here? Why did I allow myself to be this way? Was it that I was looking for acceptance? Was it that I was looking to be understood? So I figured if I just acted like them, I would finally be understood. It's wild. It's wild. And Wendy asks, are you still planning to live in an RV? Coming home from Peru, I have no idea what I'm doing right now, and I'm so okay with that. I'm still interested in the idea, but it is less of it has to happen right now kind of thing. So if you guys haven't been with me, I left my husband in August last year. It was August 1st that I left, and then like 2 weeks later, Matt was talking about how he wanted to live in a travel trailer, and he was like, let's do that in like 15 years. And so I thought, well, I just want to do that right now. And then I was obsessed with having an RV, finding an RV, getting a motorhome, going. Like, I have a bus here. I have a picture of myself in an RV. I have it posted on my desktop. I see it all the time. And it felt really good to have a focus, to have a point of focus. Like, this is what I want. While I was in Peru, the unit that I was dead set on, like, this is my magical unit. I even had a friend like offer a business transaction where like he would buy the RV and then I would drive it. And I was like trying to make that happen and it wasn't happening. while I was in Peru, my magical unit was sold to someone else. And when I was informed of that, it was the most peaceful, like, oh, okay, cool. Now I don't have to like focus so hard on that thing anymore. So I'm really in a place right now where whatever comes will come. I have preferences, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And wow, that feels so good to say out loud. That is actually how I'm feeling. I'm going to pull one card to ask what our gut would like to tell our mind, because I'm sure that the gut doesn't speak English. The gut doesn't speak in words. So I'm going to use an oracle card to channel the energy of the gut, the divine gut brain, and I want to ask the gut to tell us what it would like to say to everyone who's present right now. Alessa, a few years ago, she considered selling all possessions and moving abroad with no plan. Yeah. That sounds wonderful. I keep looking at this deck. I've never used it on Insight Timer. It's called Earth and Bone. This was recommended by someone on an Insight Timer live, and then it was purchased for me off of my Amazon wishlist from another Insight Timer follower. So support. Support doesn't come always in the way that you think it's going to come, but it's always there. It's always there. So feel free to send your energy into this deck, and we are going to ask. You can connect with your specific gut if you'd like. You can place your hand on your gut. You can focus your attention on your gut, and let's ask what our gut would like to tell us, and it can use these cards and these words to communicate with us. I have listened to my gut, and I've kind of put myself on what I'm calling career bed rest. Career bed rest. When I was in Peru, when I was doing all my ayahuasca stuff, the theme was gestation. The theme was divine timing. It's not ready. And I can relate this to, like, there's something brewing within me, career-wise, life work-wise. There's something that's not ready. It's in there. It's not ready. And I've been trying really hard to just like throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Like, oh, sure, I could do this for money. What does this feel like? And then like it's not sticking. So I am giving myself permission to go on career bed rest, where I'm not going to try to earn. I'm not going to try to produce. I am literally spending my days doing what brings me joy. And when it feels joyful to create something, I'm going to create it. And if it no longer feels joyful, when it feels obligational, I'm just not going to address it. So I'm saying that because I don't know when I'm going to be back on Insight Timer. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. It's going to come when I feel inspired. So what's interesting is two cards came out, and I'll read both of them. So what does our gut want to communicate with human words? The first card is card number 17. It is prosperity. Excuse me. And the keywords are wealth, contentment, and abundance. You are manifesting so much abundance from pursuing bliss. Prosperity is yours to grasp. The love from the universe is aligning with your soul's purpose. Share what it is that you are passionate about. Everything you desire already exists. So stop worrying, stop doubting, and put all your attention and focus into the joy and love of learning what it is that makes you expand. You have so much positivity and light to share through your passions. What is it that makes you feel excited? What sparks joy in your life? Do more of that. Your joy is contagious and opens the portal to so much abundance. You already are everything and have everything you need to achieve total happiness. If you don't know how to appreciate what you have and where you are, you will only want more. Abundant people are those who believe that they always have enough and understood the philosophy long before they had excess. So attract the abundance that you are being regularly gifted from the universe and pursue exactly what makes you happy, excited, and fulfilled. You cannot lose. And the gut would like to give you an affirmation for this prosperity card. And the affirmation is, I am ready and open to receive all the prosperity that I deserve. I am constantly attracting infinite abundance into my life. I've used this deck like 3 times ever, and I did not know what this card said, and I felt like that was a direct message from me, literally telling you guys that I am choosing to spend my days doing what I feel like doing. The mind is having a really hard time understanding that, right? How many of you guys have had the gut reaction that this job is not for me? I don't want to be in this job. This work schedule is not for me, but it's okay because it's not that bad. Oh, there's parts of my job that I like. How many of you guys have had that gut reaction, this is not for me, but then your mind rationalizes, well, I do have a really nice salary. Well, I do have really good benefits. It's all just trust. That's our job, is to trust. And it's hard. It's scary. Trust is hard. I can mentally, I can verbally say, yes, I trust that I'm always provided for. But then when I spend my days doing whatever I want to do, sometimes I want to sign up for workshops. Sometimes I want to sign up for retreats. And then I look at my bank account and I'm like, well, there hasn't been this much coming into the bank account. So if I put it out, when is it going to come back? What can I do to remake these couple $100? Trust. Follow your gut, because that opens you up to have these random, oh, this person wants to pay you for your services. Oh, this person is having an issue that only you can solve and you can offer your services there. Oh, this person, what kept coming up with this card, if you guys have been following me, you know that I love line dancing. I love line dancing, and I go line dancing any moment that I can. And I am, I'm a dragonfly, guys. I am this like mystical, translucent little fairy garden person that just shows up and then she's gone. But that's my gift. I go onto that dance floor, I shine. People come up to me all the time and they tell me how much they love watching me dance. This is not coming from an ego place. This is coming from I am the gift. I bring a presence to that dance floor that is not there when I'm not there. And I don't need people to, I don't like when people tell me that they like watching me dance. I'm just having the time of my life. And I bring energy and I spark it and whatever. That's my gift to that community, and I'm also receiving benefit in return. So, nothing has come of it yet, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe by me just going out and being my little dragonfly self on the country dance floor, maybe that inspires someone who just loves me so much and they want to offer something to help me. Actually, a year ago, when I first started line dancing, I went to a place that I had never been before. A lady who I had never met before, she came up to me like an hour in and she said, oh, I have this jumpsuit that I bought for my daughter and it doesn't fit her. Do you want it? So there you go. There's a prime example. Me just being me, being my shining self because I'm having fun, and someone gifted me clothing. Prosperity, abundance, it's everywhere. Follow your gut, do what makes you happy, and then receive the blessings that come from it. Does that make sense? Sarah had to leave her passion work. It was destroying her. Yes. Alessa, nice to see you. The replay will be on my YouTube channel if you guys have to leave. I have one more card and then I'm going to hop out also. Mira, I don't know if it's my gut reaction or my fears. I don't know the difference. Something else that I've been teaching is that anxiety, fear, will usually speak in questions. Your gut usually speaks in sentences. Hold that and play with that for a little while. could you kindly reshare or type the affirmation for us? I cannot type it because I don't have a way to hold this book open, so I'm going to say it one more time. I'll read it slowly, and the replay is going to be on YouTube. We're at 54 minutes right now. Well, who knows what I edit. I am ready and open to receive all the prosperity that I deserve. I am constantly attracting infinite abundance into my life. Haley says, I've been off of work with a work injury for an extended time, and they're trying to make me get back to work ASAP, and my gut reaction is like, no, I'm not physically able to do the job that I want to do. Follow that, honor that, honor that. Everyone around you is going to have an opinion about what you're doing, but they're not you. Everyone around you is going to have an opinion about what you're doing, but they're not you. You are the main character of your life. If you are triggering and offending people in your life and you're not intending to trigger or offend them, it's just what it is. It is what it is, and they might not be aligned with you. You are here to make yourself happy and do what brings you joy. Gail says, Haley, please listen to your gut. I worked in nursing for over 40 years and now I need shoulder surgery. 2 knee replacements, recovering from cancer. Ignoring my gut hurt me so much. We're all here to learn. We're all here to learn something. Mira, OMG, okay, this is gold. It clears everything for me. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Hi, Jenny. I'm ready to open and receive. Thank you for typing that quote in the chat. That was the affirmation from the prosperity card. The second card that our gut would like to share with us today in human words is the card right after. It's 18, the sorcerer. And the keywords are ambition, willpower, action. Attraction is an inner process based on how you choose to think or react. Never operate from deficiency or lack. Circumstances have very little to do with reality. It's your attitude towards circumstances that reflects your reality and life. Take what you are and accept it. You are not deficient. You are unique. Be the kind of person you choose to be. Everything that comes your way is an opportunity and a blessing, so celebrate it. Take control of your thoughts. You have the power to make your life absolutely perfect. The image in your mind manifests into reality. The key to having any desire is visualization. Believe it. Even when circumstances get you down, understand that there are no mistakes. Everything in this world is a miracle. There is a lesson in everything. Celebrate the lessons. When you begin to change thought into quality thinking, or change your thinking from how things appear and practice being grateful for every lesson, you unlock the flow of your desires. And here is the affirmation. If someone would like to hop on that keyboard and type it in right now, I'll read it pretty slow. The affirmation for sorcerer: I ignite my soul's passion to live my highest potential. I am willing to believe that I am creating all my experiences. I ignite my soul's passion to live my highest potential. I am willing to believe that I am creating all my experiences. Sarah, this is Earth and Bone. I'm holding the book up on screen if you would like to see it. You create your own reality. I love it. I love that the gut is saying, just trust me because I'm trying to give you everything that you desire. But when your mind comes in and tells the stories that life is hard and things are bad and I shouldn't be here, you're gonna ruin the abundance that the gut is trying to lead you to. You are a sorcerer and you get to determine the life that you are living. There is no life where everything is beautiful and perfect and things just work out how you thought they were going to work out. That doesn't exist. However, what does exist is the ability to look at your circumstances and view them from a different state of mind. Anything can easily be complained about, and anything with a little bit of practice can be seen as a grateful gift. And that doesn't mean to spiritually bypass. That doesn't mean to just throw away your hurt feelings. It really is about seeing your hurt feelings as a gift. It doesn't exist where everything is light. The yin-yang exists for a reason. There is an equal amount of balance. But that doesn't mean that the negative, bad, unpleasant emotions should be shunned away. If you're feeling exhausted, cry about it. If you're feeling angry, go to what are those things called? The break rooms where you shatter stuff. Like, go get a week-long martial arts membership to go punch stuff. Express your emotions, feel them, and then afterwards thank them for what they taught you. The more that you're able to accept that you are not a perfect, happy human 24/7, the easier life gets, because you start to accept yourself for who you are. And then, when your feelings are actually felt and expressed, you become so wise, because your feelings just want to teach you things. They just want to teach you things. Bringing it back to my story about how much I honored and felt deep gratitude for all the men in my life who have been so lonely, because they have created a world for me because of their loneliness. So thank you, my loneliness, for showing that to me, because now I can feel much deeper gratitude every single day for the people who have already felt that negative emotion. And I can ramble on this for hours and days, but I'm learning how to limit myself. So I'm gonna read some of these comments and then hop off. Thank you so much, Jenny. Again, Jenny wrote the affirmation in the chat here. Is this about magic? Isn't everything in life about magic? This isn't a specific magic lesson, but I do believe that we all live a magical experience. So whatever you decide is what is real. Hi, Melinda. You came in about 10 minutes ago and was wowed by this perfect first card for what you had just shared about yourself. You can't make this stuff up. I know. Love it. How to stop overthinking. It's the journey that I've been on, and I hope that you can learn from my experience, because that's my role. I am here to just be, and then y'all get to watch and learn. So you're welcome. Rachel, thank you so much for your donation. I very much appreciate the support. That has been today's discussion on following your gut. I would love to hear what has transpired within you all from listening to this. This is really fun for me. I really enjoy having these like random sporadic sessions. So if you have not followed me on Insight Timer, click the follow button, because I don't have a schedule right now. So the only way to know when I'm going live is to watch it show up on your notifications. This was fun. I'm really glad that you guys were here. I love when you guys share about your stories, because it gives me something to talk about. It gives me something to relate all of my life experiences to. And I just have to say this out loud. This is the first time that like Insight Timer they're on like a new software. They updated their stuff, so like the things I can see on my screen are much different. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. It's cool now, because before, can you guys see it differently? Before, it used to just show like meditators here, and the number would always go up, and people would always be like, oh my god, Jacqui, you have like 200 people here, and I would know, like, no, the number has only gone up, like that's how many people have joined and left, and now I can see the difference, and it just feels good to my analytical mind. I'm not perfect, guys. I don't follow my gut all the time. I do analyze. But it's cool to see 124 people have joined this session today, and there's 38 here now. Like, that to me feels realistic. It's just cool. It's just cool. Melinda says, since you may not be here for a while, I've been wanting to ask a random question about the water softener shower filter you got, and how are you liking it? That's awesome that you remember. Yeah, when I first got to Matt's house, he does not have a water softener, and my hair was just like disgusting and flat and full of minerals. So I put this shower filter on my Amazon wish list. It was like $40. And one of my followers got that for me. It is doing its job, I would say. I also got a clarifying shampoo. It was like the most natural version of like a mineral stripping shampoo that I could find. But right now is not a good time to ask me about my hair because I'm getting a haircut tomorrow and I just feel like my split ends are weighing me down tremendously. But I would say that it's not as disgusting as it was. So if you're thinking about getting one of those water filters, yeah, go for it. If you could share which one it is, I don't remember. Sorry. Melinda says it's harder to navigate. Paris says it's different, the app now. Interesting. Oh, Linda says it wasn't loading for you? You couldn't join this? Well, while we work out, because there's gonna be hiccups, right? Anytime something is reborn, there's hiccups. Every time there's an update, it's gonna be a little different. But I do record all of these and I put them on my YouTube channel. So you could just search my name and you can find all of the, just search my name, Mira, and thank you for spacing all that out. Jacqui Mancuso, and you'll see the one that has a lot of followers. So, awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting me just by showing up and being here and sharing yourself and learning so that I can share my light through all of you guys. So, I don't know when I'll be here, but I hope to see you all very soon. Sending love to all. Namaste. And take care. I'll see you when I see ya.